Hello, welcome to Testing the Raw podcast. I'm your host, the Tester. I had another story I wanted to talk to you about, but this one just crossed my desk and I just had to talk about it because it's just that important. Before I show you the video, though, I want to go back to 2001 after the election when everyone was crying, screaming that the election was stolen. And many people were just like, well, even if it was, it's only 4 years, how bad things could get. I want to just list off a few notables just so you can understand how bad things have gotten. It's only been 3 years. All right. First, he stopped the production of our oil, which increased everything because everything is run off of oil, at least for right now, until the Rockefellers allow us to start using magnets and hydrogen and radio waves. I know that might sound like crazy, but trust me, it's a thing. Um, that added to a lot of gas, not just gas, but also food, clothing, everything went up because you have to transport it. He also destabilized our military with his draconian, untested vaccine policy, forcing the servicemen in the military to take this concoction that has not been verified safe or anything like that. And now that we know that is actually the opposite of safe, not only did he harm our military with that, but he also botched the Afghanistan retreat, getting our allies and some of our servicemen killed. It was a very, very traumatic day. He also attacks his political opponents, which we see with Donald Trump. They even trying to take him off the ballot. I mean, come on now, how tyrannical is that? He turns our schools into burlesque drag shows. I mean, literally having grown men whining and grinding in front of children. It's just the most detestable thing I could think of. One of the most detestable things I could think of. He added $3 trillion to our national debt, lowering our grade from a AAA rating to a AA. Now, I know you may be thinking, why does that matter? Well, that matters because that also increases our interest rate, right? So not only are we paying more, but we're paying more on top of that more. He fumbled the Maui crisis. I mean, fumbled is just not the word to use, but YouTube would rather me not use the correct terminologies. So yeah, he just one of the most disgusting things. He used the UN to cause a war in Ukraine. See, a lot of people don't know this, but the Ukrainian war could have easily been not a thing if he just stayed out of it altogether. But the fact that he was using the UN to bring Ukraine into the UN, and I believe it was President George H.W. Bush that said that we would not move a foot to closer to Russia. Well, Biden made him a liar, and in doing so, that preempted Russia to attack Ukraine to push their borders even further, stopping any UN invasion that might be getting cooked up. And recently, of course, Israel being attacked. Well, if you don't know, that was preempted because we've given Iran, I believe it was $6 billion. Don't quote me on that, but that's a whole lot of money. And they even said that they were going to use the money to further carry out attacks. Uh, I mean, come on now. Um, and the worst offense of all, because he's our president, supposedly, he opened our borders, allowing 80,000 children to go missing. 80,000 children are nowhere to be found. They just they're vapor, you know. And not only that, but he invited foreign army to invade us. What am I talking about? Oh yeah, all those military age men that just crossing the border seeking asylum, so-called asylum, those are actually foreign military. And the video that I'm going to show you will prove it.
This guy said that, he has a card from the government, from the UN, and it got topped up every month. And he was like, this month since he got to the United States, that, he has no money on there. And he asked him, how much money did you get put into the account every month? And he was like, 3,000 pesos. And he was like, let me see the card. So the guy flipped the card, real quick, and me being who I am, I screenshotted it. And then I did some investigations. And as you see on the card, it says UMMCA and some other words, right? So, of course, I did my digging. And this is actually who these people are, like I said. Unspecified Minor Military Construction Army. We have an alien invasion, all right. We're being invaded right now. You would think that they would announce, hey, hey, Americans, no, because this is an inside attack. That's why they're pouring in by the thousands. These people are getting paid to come here, you guys. He's got a card. He's working. These guys are not just refugees. These guys are not just people looking for asylum. These are workers. These are people that's here to destroy Americans. Wake up!
Now, after watching that, you have to ask yourself, at best, he is either a Manchurian candidate. If you don't know what that is, that's someone who is brainwashed into doing things that the deep state want them to do. That's at very best. At worst, he is a Cobra commanding clone. Now, if you've never seen the first G.I. Joe movie, it's not that great, but the ending was quite interesting, where the president is actually kidnapped and someone is using a mask to pretend to be that president. And I'm kind of edging more towards that, since that president actually looks a lot like Joe Biden. You check it out.
Senator, Mr. President.
Aren't you supposed to stop people from shooting my dad, Baldy? Idiot.
Enough out of you, Lee Harvey. Go clean up the chocolate stains you left in your mother's bedroom.
Wow, Kitty liked to scratch.
Next time, take out his fat ass.
It would be my pleasure, sir.
And strike him down. He'll find you out there, Ted. No, I don't think so. It's the beauty of nanomites. Here, take a look. Flawless microtechnology.
So stay fit, stay vigilant. The fight has just begun.